Hi, I'm Brock from More Pixels, and recently we decided to be dumb and participate in another game jam, which resulted in a lack of sleep and a lot of stress. Both Luke and I recently participated in Ludum Dare 49 and created a game which we called Bad Magic. Ludum Dare is a 72-hour game jam where you're given a theme to create a game around, so pretty much the exact same as every other game jam. The start time for the jam was Saturday 8 AM, so both Luke and I got up and jumped into a call and got prepared for the theme reveal. I did film some of our original conversations when the theme was revealed, so we'll play some of that, although I forgot to record my screen, so it's just audio, and we'll probably put some gameplay or some other relevant clips behind it. The theme for Ludum Dare 49 is unstable.
Ooh.
Okay.
Maybe an unstable formula? I don't know, like some sort of chemistry / like potion mixing game or something.
Yeah, we could make a game. So yeah, the theme was revealed as unstable, and we came up with the idea of a potion making game similar to Overcooked, but without food and with potions instead. Once we had a plan in place, we got to creating the game. I started with basic things such as the player controller and map collisions. This was all pretty simple stuff. Once I got that done, Luke and I worked on coming up with some ideas for the potions and ingredients, as this is a core mechanic for the game that we really needed. We settled on 5 different ingredients, which would turn into 8 different potions. The ingredients consisted of somniberries, koala leaves, phoenix feather, obsidian mushrooms, and a drake's tooth. These turned into 8 different potions, which were sleeping soup, comatose broth, volcanic risotto, super spicy soup, dragon's dessert, fire breath frenzy, and everything stew. Once all of this was planned, I got to work on the player being able to grab items, because you know, that is sort of a key factor to the game. With the player being able to pick up items, I then made it so you could start to create the potions. I did get stuck here for a short while, as I wasn't really sure how to create the system. Initially, I wanted to use scriptable objects for the recipes, although ultimately I decided against this, as I haven't used scriptable objects much before, and I didn't think this was the place to learn it with such a tight time restraint. Since I was a bit confused, I stopped working for a while. I eventually thought of the idea to use an array and then check the items in that array by name to see if they matched the required ingredients for a potion. There was only one issue with doing it this way. If an ingredient was needed multiple times for a recipe, the function only checked to make sure it was there once. To combat this, I ended up making a value for each ingredient that would be increased when the potion was stirred, and then just used a bunch of if statements to check if the values needed for each potion matched. With the potions now being made, I also added another thing that was just a nice little touch, and that was the liquid in the cauldron changing colour to match the colour of the potion that was made. Once I had all the potions being able to be made, I realised I made a big mistake in how we wanted the game to work. We wanted the ingredients to be processed similar to Overcooked before they were used in a potion. With this, I created all the different tasks to process the ingredients. The different tasks consisted of the berries being boiled into a jam, the phoenix feather being soaked in a sink, the mushroom being cut, and the drake tooth being crushed into a powder, and the koala leaves being kept the exact same state as they were when they were picked. With the recipes being completed and the player being able to make potions now, the player needed to be able to tell what ingredients were needed in these potions. We totally didn't copy the design Overcooked used. It's not similar at all. Okay, yes, we did copy the UI from Overcooked. The reasoning for this is that it's a good method of displaying the recipes for the player, especially since we used a similar system of recipes being added to the player's tasks over time. Looking back on it, the one thing that we should have done differently based on player feedback was either have the symbol of the task to process the ingredients similar to what Overcooked do, or have the processed icon instead of the base version, as this did confuse a few players, and they weren't really sure how to make the potions. I then went through and added all the different UI to the game, such as the different menus, so the main menu, pause menu, and so on. We also ended up adding a tutorial menu on the main menu, so that players could read through how to play, since we didn't end up having enough time to implement a tutorial level for the game, as the deadline was fast approaching, and I was getting extremely tired. Luke and I then went through adding all the final things into the game, such as the different task animations, and making different particles. And can I just say, look at what Luke did to this poor bird. Also, I added small things such as the score counter being displayed on the screen, and also a timer for the recipes to make the game a bit more difficult. We created particles and also added screen shake and created 3 levels for the game to bring the creation to an end. Ultimately, there were more things that we really wanted to add, such as outdoor areas with things such as alligators you could jump across a river, like a little Game of Frogger, to access some different ingredients. We would have also liked to add portals to teleport around the level quicker, but we did end up with quite small levels, so that wasn't such an issue. But this is just something that happens with game jams, and we weren't too disappointed about it. As a small post-mortem, there was some stuff that we could have done better based on player feedback that we received in the first few days after the jam concluded. Although there were things that we didn't get to create or weren't perfect, people still seemed to enjoy the game, and we were really happy with what we created. And with that, that's everything that we managed to make in the 72 hours of Ludum Dare 49. If you have enjoyed, please do consider subscribing, and be sure to leave a like on the video. If you would like to play the game, I'll be sure to leave it as the first link in the description. Also, be sure to check out our social media accounts that will also be linked down in the description. I would like to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.